Hi everybody, Katen here. So I hope you're enjoying these videos. I'm going to do another one today on the subconscious and what it can do for you. So I often tell my dancers and my writing students, don't think. You'll do better if you're not thinking. So don't think. And there's a reason for that. So today's topic comes from my brother-in-law, Devin. So Devin, thanks for watching and thanks for the great idea. And I'm also willing to consider other topic ideas. If anyone wants to hear more about a certain topic, feel free to let me know. Send me a message or email me, jesse@jessikaten.com. So we know that our brains do an awful lot of work that we're not aware of. So you might find yourself in a situation where you have driven to work, usually someplace really familiar. You've driven to work or you've driven home from work, and you don't remember actually making the drive. So even though you've had to make hundreds or thousands of different decisions all along that drive, you don't really remember it. It was uneventful. It was your mind was allowed to wander and you thought about other things the whole time. That means that it was your subconscious, right, that was working all along to get you where you needed to go. Or think about if you're tying your shoes. You don't think about those steps at all. You don't even have access to those steps. You couldn't change how you do that if you wanted to. It would take work to relearn how to do that. So the subconscious does an awful lot of work that we're not aware of. So in the fall, I made a presentation with my colleague, Dr. Jen Musa from the biology department at SUNY Broome. She's a neuroscientist. Hi, Jen. Hope you're watching. And one of the points that we made in our presentation about the neuroscience of creativity was that our brains seem to work best. We have our flashes of insight when we are relaxed and mildly distracted. So even though great ideas feel like a lightning bolt striking you from elsewhere or a light bulb going off, your brain has actually been working on those slowly and over the long term. And when you find yourself, when your conscious mind is relaxed and you're a little bit distracted, then it opens up space for your subconscious to send up what it's been working on, right? It bubbles to the surface. And so I think that that's something that we can make use of in our lives. In 2012, a study was published by a neuroscientist at Carnegie Mellon University that showed that test subjects, when given difficult decisions to make, right, complex decisions where they had to think through a lot of different factors, they actually did best when they took their time and they didn't actually focus consciously on the decision that they had to make. So the old saying, sleep on it, see what it looks like in the morning, is actually very accurate because the subconscious can take all of the factors into consideration without you even being aware. So the individuals who were given the time and were asked to do other tasks to keep their mind off of it in the meantime actually made better decisions. Also, numerous studies have shown through fMRI, which is a technique to see into the brain, functional magnetic resonance imaging, where we see what parts of the brain are lighting up during various activities. So a lot of studies have shown, let's say individuals were asked to complete word puzzles, and the scientists would look at the fMRI and see what parts of the brain were actively working. We're working hard at burning calories to help those individuals find words in the puzzles. And then they asked those individuals to take a break, and they asked them to watch mindless TV and keep their mind off of it, to think about something else for a while. And while those subjects were at rest, they also hooked them up to the fMRI, and they noticed that the same parts of the brain that had been active while they were working on the puzzles continued to glow. So they glowed with less intensity. They weren't working as hard, but they were still glowing. They were still working. The brain was still working on those word puzzles, even if the person was not consciously thinking about them. So I think that that's really interesting. The brain continues to work on the problems that you've been faced with, even without you realizing it. So what can we do with this? Well, as I mentioned yesterday when I spoke about gratitude journals At the end of the day, I write down my 5 things that I'm grateful for, and then I also give homework to my subconscious so that while I'm sleeping or throughout the next day, I've actually assigned it tasks where it has to look at complex problems, or in my scholarship, in my academic work, if there's something I can't quite connect, I'll ask my subconscious to work on it while I watch TV, while I go to bed, while I go about my ordinary life the next day. And almost always, actually I think it has been always, the answer comes to me at some point. And so I reflect in the gratitude journal and I write down, oh, that worked. My subconscious was working. So remember, you're smarter than you think you are, and your brain is at its best when you're relaxed and a little distracted. So let your subconscious do work, even when you're not thinking about it. So remember, don't think. Thanks for watching.